Margaret, I've told you repeatedly, please do not come into our bedroom without permission. And you took my earrings again, didn't you? I need those for my friend's wedding tomorrow. Please give them back. Wait, the dress I was going to wear tomorrow is gone too. Where are all of them? I really need those for tomorrow. Hello, Margaret? I know you're reading this text. Please say something. We've only been living together for 2 weeks. How much are you planning to take from me? Oh, calm down, Melissa. What's yours is mine too, you know. We live under the same roof. Don't make such a fuss over a few things going missing. It's not a few things. Almost half my jewelry and clothes are gone. Where exactly did you put them? Hey, it's not a big deal. I didn't think those things suited you anyway, so I did you a favor and actively decluttered for you. You should be thanking me. I cleaned up all that clutter for you. They weren't clutter. In fact, the dress and earrings I actually need for tomorrow are all gone. A good daughter-in-law would be happy to share with her husband's mother. Sharing is when both people agree to it. Taking something without asking is not sharing. That's just taking. Such a rigid way of looking at things, you young people and your boundaries. When I was a young bride, I gave freely to my in-laws without complaint. With respect, Margaret, what you gave freely to your in-laws and what you take from me without asking are two very different things. Where is the dress, Margaret? Please. That dress, Shane actually bought it for me for our wedding anniversary last year. Oh, Shane did? You know better than anyone that your own son is the type who treasures anniversaries and sentimental gifts. He spent a long time picking that dress out for me. He was so proud of his choice. How do you think he'll feel when he finds out his own mother took something that he chose for me? Well, you don't need to tell him. He doesn't need to know about every little thing. He will know, Margaret. I'll make sure of it. Give them back right now or I'm telling Shane. Fine. You're such a stingy and petty daughter-in-law. You know that? That's quite a boomerang you just threw. What? Never mind. Just please stop doing this. I understand we're still adjusting to living together. I'm willing to be patient. But this, going through my things and taking them without asking, it has to stop. You're being dramatic. It's just stuff. It's my stuff, Margaret. That's the whole point. When you live with family, the lines blur. That's just how it works. Not in my experience, and not legally for that matter. Oh, don't go threatening me with legally. We're family. Family respects each other's belongings. That's true in every family I know. You're very rigid for someone so young. I prefer the word clear. I'd rather be clear now than resentful later. You're already resentful. I'm frustrated. There's a difference, and I'd like to get ahead of it before it becomes something worse. And just remember, if it happens again, I will be talking to Shane. That's not a threat, it's a promise. Hey, Melissa! How dare you set me up like that? What is it with you so suddenly? Set you up? I haven't done anything. Don't play innocent with me! You tricked me into thinking those things were real! Huh? Real? What are you talking about? The opal necklace and the cameo brooch you had. They weren't real! I sold them as a set to a friend for $1,000, and now she's saying they're fake and she never wants to speak to me again. What are you going to do about this? No way. You actually thought those were real and sold them? Huh? Of course I did. They looked expensive. I can't believe you took more of my things after what we discussed last time. That's not the point right now. It's very much the point. I said I may have just borrowed. You actually sold them, Margaret. That's definitely not borrowing. You had fake jewelry and didn't warn me. Taking them without asking was already wrong, but I'm genuinely confused here. Those were handmade resin jewelry from a crafter friend of mine.
Handmade? Resin? What is that?
It's a liquid polymer that gets poured into molds and hardened to make handmade accessories. People can use it to make really beautiful gem-like accessories by hand. My friend is an artist who sells her handmade pieces.
That sounds more like a hobby, not a real craft.
She has many customers who would disagree with you on that. You just don't understand the actual quality of those pieces.
So you actually knew they weren't real gemstones when you bought them?
Though that's not a good way of saying it, that's basically it. I love supporting her creative work.
And you just had them sitting there looking like real jewelry? Why didn't you tell me?
Margaret, I wasn't expecting anyone to go rummaging through my jewelry box.
I humiliated myself and lost a friend because of this.
How exactly was I supposed to tell you?
What do you mean, how? You could have said something. Were you trying to trick me all along?
I'm not a psychic, Margaret.
What?
It never crossed my mind that you'd sneak into my things and take my resin jewelry. I couldn't have warned you in advance about something I didn't know was going to happen, could I?
But still, you should have told me what was valuable and what wasn't.
With respect, none of that is yours to sell regardless of the value. Whether something costs $5 or $5,000, that doesn't change the fact that it's mine.
How was I supposed to know what's worth something and what isn't?
The answer to that question is, don't take things that don't belong to you.
You are being completely unreasonable.
Am I?
Yes, a considerate daughter-in-law would help me out when I'm in a tight spot.
A tight spot? What does that mean?
It doesn't matter. The point is, you had things sitting around that you clearly didn't even value.
Oh, and by the way, I've been keeping anything valuable at my parents' house in their safe.
What? Why?
Since I can't put a lock on the bedroom door in this rented house, moving things somewhere out of your reach was the only option.
I told you, didn't I? What's the daughter-in-law's is mine.
No, it isn't. Don't just assume you can take everything you want from me.
How dare you talk back to me like that? What I do with my daughter-in-law's belongings is my business.
Actually, this came on Shane's advice.
What? Shane? You actually told him about this?
I did say that I would tell him if it kept happening, didn't I?
You went running to my own son behind my back?
I went to my husband about a problem in our home that's not going behind anyone's back.
He shouldn't be taking your side over his own mother's.
There are no sides, Margaret. Shane just agreed that keeping valuables somewhere safe was sensible.
Losing a few things isn't worth making into this big a drama.
You just admitted out loud that you actually sold them, didn't you?
Oh.
And last time you took the anniversary dress as well. That's not a few things, that's a serious pattern. Anyway, everything I still have here in this house may be inexpensive, but every single piece means something to me personally. Cheap, maybe, but they're mine, and they matter to me.
Well, I don't know anything about that.
You didn't even ask, Margaret. That's the entire problem. If you take and sell anything else, we're going to have to take this further. I mean it, so please stop now. Margaret, where are you right now?
What is it? I'm out having coffee with friends right now. Can it wait? Just contact me later.
No, something's happened here and I need to reach you now.
What on earth is going on? Did something break? Is Shane all right?
Shane is fine. This is about something else. Do you happen to know anything about the jewelry that was in our bedroom?
What?
There was something in the drawer that's now gone.
Excuse me? How rude, suspecting me right off the bat.
I'm not suspecting anyone. I'm asking if you have any information about the missing jewelry. Something that was in the house is missing. Checking with everyone who lives here is the obvious first step. I know exactly where I left it. It was in the second drawer of the nightstand.
I see. Fine, but I don't know anything about some cheap little ring, LOL.
Margaret? I just said the jewelry is missing.
Huh?
How did you actually know it was a ring?
I just had a feeling, that's all.
A feeling? You had a feeling it was a ring specifically?
Yes, woman's intuition. It's a thing.
Interesting. And how exactly did your intuition tell you it was a ring and not, say, a necklace or a bracelet?
It just seemed like the kind of thing you'd keep in a drawer.
Lots of things live in drawers, Margaret.
Well, I don't know. Stop interrogating me.
All right, let's skip the theatrics and get to the point.
Excuse me?
Did you really think I hadn't taken any precautions after everything that's happened?
Precautions? What kind of precautions?
We put a security camera in the bedroom. Every move you made there is recorded on that camera.
What? A camera?
And don't say privacy violation. We've repeatedly asked you not to enter that room without permission. Shane and I both agreed to install it in our own room. We needed solid evidence of this situation to put an end to it.
You can't just... Isn't that illegal somehow?
To record your own bedroom? No.
You never said anything about it. It feels like an invasion.
The invasion was you going through our drawers, Margaret.
Well, all your things in this house is cheap anyway, isn't it? LOL. So what's the harm in selling one little thing? Don't be too stingy.
That one actually belongs to you, Margaret.
What? To me?
Or rather, it was going to belong to you.
What are you talking about? It was for me? It's probably another one of those fake resin things, isn't it? If that's the case, no need. I wouldn't even want it.
But I think you might want this one, though.
Why? What's so special about it?
Because Dave is the one who bought it.
Dave? My husband, Dave?
How many Daves do you know who live in this house?
Why would Dave hide something in your bedroom?
Because it was meant to be a surprise. And this was the one room in the house he was confident you wouldn't search. Clearly, he overestimated that.
What are you talking about? What kind of surprise?
You and Dave have your 30th wedding anniversary coming up soon, don't you?
Yes, but what does that have to do with...
To celebrate, he'd been carefully setting aside money from his monthly allowance, month by month, saved $3,000, and he bought a ring with it.
$3,000? That much?
Every month, quietly, without saying anything to you. He said he wanted it to be completely special. He saved up for such a long time.
He was saving up for me?
He was planning to surprise you with it on the actual anniversary date. He'd hidden it in our bedroom so you wouldn't find it. But you searched every inch of the room and found it anyway. And then you assumed it was one of my cheap resin rings and just sold it, right? The camera caught everything, Margaret. Every single moment recorded. So it's no use making excuses.
But I didn't know. I swear I didn't know it was from Dave.
What did you think it was?
I thought it was one of yours. You had so many little boxes sitting around.
How much did you actually sell it for, and to whom?
I just put it on Facebook Marketplace and I got $100 for it.
Only $100? Margaret, Dave saved for months. He set aside money every single month to afford that ring, and you just sold it for $100.
But I didn't know. I'll call the buyer right now and get it back. Melissa?
So, how did it go? Can you get it returned?
I've tried. I sent a message through the app. The buyer's account has been deleted. I can't reach them at all.
What?
We used anonymous shipping, so I don't even have their address or real name. The listing is gone. The account is gone. It's like they vanished. This is terrible. What should we do now?
Have you tried contacting Facebook Marketplace support?
I tried. They said since the transaction is complete, there's nothing they can do without the buyer's cooperation.
So the buyer is gone.
Yes.
Did you keep any record of the listing? A screenshot, a description, anything?
No. I deleted the listing after it sold.
Margaret, listen. Dave says not to worry about the ring anymore.
Oh? Oh, well then, I suppose this is all resolved?
Well, yes, but
Great, that's my darling.
it's not exactly the ending you're hoping for.
Huh? What do you mean? If Dave isn't upset...
He's very upset, Margaret. Don't worry about the ring doesn't mean don't worry about anything.
Then what does it mean?
Dave is filling out divorce papers.
What? Divorce papers? He can't be serious.
He was very calm when he told me. That's actually what worried me the most. Apparently you can download them now and submit a printed copy. I didn't know that until today.
What? Why?
I would think that's obvious.
But why? Over a ring? People lose jewelry all the time.
It wasn't lost. It was taken and sold before he even had the chance to give it to her. The ring was something he poured his heart into for you. He didn't just go to a store and pick up whatever was on display. He set aside a little each month. He planned it out. He was genuinely excited, Margaret. He kept saying, 30 years is worth celebrating properly.
I had no idea he was doing any of this.
No, because he wanted it to be a surprise. He trusted this house to keep his secret. When he said forget the ring, he didn't mean everything's fine. He meant, rather than search for a ring that's been tainted by all of this, he'd rather have you pay him back the $3,000.
How am I supposed to come up with $3,000 as a stay-at-home wife? And besides, I didn't know, so it's not really my fault, is it? If I had known David bought that for me.
You wouldn't have stolen and sold it?
Of course not! I only sold it because I thought it was your cheap ring.
Whether it was my ring or anyone else's, and regardless of the price, there's no world in which it's okay to sell something that belongs to someone else without asking.
But what's the daughter-in-law's is basically...
Even by that logic, this one wasn't mine.
Oh.
And Margaret, let's be clear about something. This isn't just about the ring. This is the end of a very long line of incidents. Remember all the things that disappeared? You were selling my belongings to fund your spending.
It was just, things were tight, and I saw an opportunity.
To take things that weren't yours and profit from them. Yes, I understand that now.
But
if you want to stop the divorce, your only option is to apologize to Dave with everything you have.
I've called him, but he won't pick up.
Well, I figured as much. He has, I will not forgive this no matter what, radiating off him right now.
But he has to talk to me at some point. We live in the same house.
He's been staying in the guest room. I don't think he plans to engage until he's ready.
This is ridiculous. 30 years of marriage and he won't even pick up the phone.
He spent 30 years with you. He knows what you're like when you want to avoid consequences, Margaret. Letting you talk first would just give you time to construct an argument.
But I don't want a divorce. Melissa?
What is it, and why are you texting me? We're actually still living in the same house. If you have something to say, just say it to my face.
Right, but, I find it easier this way, to organize my thoughts.
All right, what is it?
Do I really have to leave this house?
That's a question for Dave and his attorney, not me.
But you have influence over Shane, and Shane has influence over Dave.
I'm not going to lobby on your behalf, Margaret.
Why not? Aren't we family?
Family is exactly why I won't do it. What you did hurt people I care about.
I made a mistake.
You made a series of deliberate choices. There's a difference.
I just thought that since we all live together, sharing is natural.
You didn't share. You took and then you sold.
Melissa, please, I'm asking for your help here.
I'm going to ask you something, and please be honest. You don't think that if the divorce is called off, the $10,000 you owe Dave and the compensation you owe me will just disappear, do you?
Oh.
Not a chance.
But if Dave forgives me...
Forgiveness and financial responsibility are separate things. You can be forgiven and still owe the money.
Where am I supposed to get that kind of money?
You should actually be grateful you're not being charged for raiding the joint savings account, too.
The savings account is a joint account. That's different.
Is it? Because when Dave tried to divide assets for the divorce, it turned out you'd spent almost all of it on yourself. That money was both of yours, Margaret. It wasn't yours to spend alone.
I contributed to this household for 30 years. I deserved...
You spent it on lunches and shopping trips and things you didn't need. That's not deserving. That's overspending. That's why you were selling my things, wasn't it? Because the savings were gone. I knew you had a spending problem, but I had no idea it had gotten this bad.
But I can't go to lunch or shopping with friends if I have no money.
So your solution was to sell my belongings.
I just needed a little extra here and there.
A little extra? You've taken and sold dozens of my things, Margaret. That's not a little extra.
I panicked, all right? The account was lower than I expected, and I panicked.
Well, it's a bit late to worry about that now.
What?
I've been told the divorce papers have already been signed. Dave said he was going for a walk about half an hour ago.
A walk? Now? At this time?
He mentioned he'd stop by the courthouse on the way, so the divorce has probably already been filed.
You're kidding. He really went and did it just like that?
Dave is a quiet person, Margaret. He doesn't make threats. When he says he's going to do something, he does it.
I thought I had more time.
Time for what? To talk him out of it?
To apologize properly, to fix things.
He gave you several days. You called him dozens of times. He wasn't ready to talk.
That's not fair.
I hear your plan is to move back to your family's place and start job hunting, Margaret.
That's just what other people are saying. I haven't agreed to.
The people around you are working to sort out the situation because a stubborn woman who refuses to accept the reality of her position is something that has to be dealt with.
How dare you speak to me like that? I'm still your mother-in-law.
Technically, yes, for now.
What does that mean?
It means the paperwork is being filed today, and life is about to look very different for us. I gave you warning after warning. You chose not to take any of them seriously.
I've made such a mess of everything.
Please make sure to pay back what you owe, on schedule. And like this, Dave and Margaret divorced just before what would have been their 30th wedding anniversary. Margaret ended up moving into her younger brother's spare room and living a much smaller life than she was used to. She got a job at a local factory, and her brother took over managing her paycheck. But before long, new belongings kept mysteriously appearing, and receipts for expensive lunches started piling up. When her brother looked into it, he found she'd been secretly taking out loans. Completely fed up, he handed her the $10,000 that was left in her account, just enough to repay Dave and me, told her to figure out the rest herself, and showed her the door. Margaret is now working a live-in job arranged through the lender, spending her days paying off her debts.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.